Can any woman be hypergamous? Is this a possibility for any woman, no matter who she is and where she's from, and what kind of class she's from originally? Well, in theory, yes. Any woman can be hypergamous. Any woman can marry up from whatever level she's starting off. Hypergamy just means that you're marrying up in class. So if you are poor, then you marry at least someone from the middle class, an upper middle class, or even wealthy. Um, so yes, it is possible for any woman to marry up. Is it a realistic goal for most women? I would say that it should not be a person's only goal. Your only goal in life should not be to be hypergamous, because this is not, don't use this as a solution to your own advancement, if that makes any sense. I get it. You want to date someone from a higher class, but you should have a backup plan. So let's start over. First thing I would say is, yes, I understand that hypergamy is only a decision for who you will partner with. It doesn't mean that you are not going to work on yourself and that you're not going to get educated and that you're not going to be employed yourself. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that when you decide to date, you're going to go after the best candidate for the position. You're, instead of looking around the hood where you're from for a guy from next door, you're gonna go outside your hood and look for a guy from the middle class, upper middle class. And I think that's excellent. I think that will help to, if women were pickier about who they partner with, then I think it would encourage more men to actually strive to earn more, or strive to climb up that class ladder. I think that, obviously we know, men are motivated by sex. So if, let's say, all women became hypergamous, then men would be forced to level up to find a woman. So if your typical girl from the ghetto is now demanding certain things before coupling up with someone, if she's demanding that her man be from a higher status than she is currently from, then the guy in the ghetto will know that he's going to have to level himself up to get any kind of action from any woman, because all these women are now hypergamous. So he's not getting any action from any of them. So yes, I could see that happening, right? This is just my thoughts. It has no title, no one position that I'm trying to talk about. So let's say the girl from the ghetto, now she wants a man who has a good job, or she wants a man who comes from a good family, and she's not gonna date the hood guy anymore, the guy slinging drugs on the corner for pennies. She's not gonna date him anymore. So it will force whoever those men are to figure out how to level up, which means that it might force men to focus on their education eventually. I'm not saying it's going to happen in 5 years, but we're thinking long term here. We're thinking like 20 years, 30 years. What can we see as the result of this movement? Okay, so I could see one or two things happening. I could see either men being forced to work on themselves, to educate themselves, to build businesses, to be strategic. It could force these guys to want to become better, because they know that no woman is going to give them the time of day. and since they want to attract a woman, they have to level themselves up to attract, because women are not just sleeping with any randoms anymore. So I could see that happening. The other thing I could see happening is men who feel they don't have a choice in leveling up, because let's be real, not all men have an easy time climbing the social status ladder. And we can say education, education, but yes, education is true, but we have to make a 2 hour long video to explain why not all men have the same opportunities, especially coming from the lowest class, which is class of people, which is what I'm talking about now. So that man in the ghetto who is no longer able to attract women because he has nothing, if he feels that he cannot educate himself or start a real business, he might be forced into starting illegal activities to try to attract a woman. And as we know, some women who want to level up, they will go with a guy who's doing criminal activity as well, as long as he's making money. So it might force more men to do that. The other thing that I could see happening from this is, especially in the Black community, I could see a lot of women who would hope to level up there now ignoring a lot of Black men from those communities. Because let's keep it real, women outnumber men, period. And when you look at the Black community, Black women earn more than Black men on average. Black women have more opportunities to get into a corporate job and to excel at that over Black men. Black men don't have as much going for them in those arenas. I know we see the basketball, football, and rappers on television with money, but we're looking at real men here. Not every woman is going to be able to attract a baller or a rap star. Let's keep it real. They're not. So we got to look at who they're going to be able to connect with. So I could see a lot of women having to date outside the community to level up, because most men who are living in your community are on the same page as you, and some of them might be educated, so you might be able to level up with those guys, the guys from the hood who are going to become doctors and lawyers. You can get one of those. But I could see this whole movement forcing women to date outside their community more. That could be a consequence of this whole movement. And there's nothing wrong with dating outside your community. I have done it. I am currently doing it. So not discouraging that, but I'm just throwing out facts here. I'm not saying that I'm with it, I'm for it, or against it. I don't care who you date, male, female, other, Black, white, other, whatever you're into is who you should date. And I don't care about that. So I could see that happening more and more with people who want to level up. So that's just my thought on that. The other thing that we need to think about is a lot of women are going to end up by themselves too with this movement, because a lot of these women are not going to be able to attract the kind of guy that they're looking to attract. Like I always mention in all my videos, this is unpopular, but you have to level yourself up first before you can attract, unless you're gorgeous. Because listen, I've met so many pretty girls from the poor class who can level up solely on their good looks. They are so attractive that they can go from the lowest class to the wealthiest class because they're that drop dead fine gorgeous. But I've also seen some regular girls who they might not do so great. Like I mentioned before, two women from the bottom could level up. the really super pretty girl who has it all going for herself, the educated girl from the low class who's brilliant and intelligent, or maybe even that girl with the super, super awesome personality. And she has to be educated also to attract if she doesn't have that beautiful look going for her. So those types of women. But for the regular girls in the hood, how did they level up? I'm gonna say a lot of them will try to level up or date up, and then they'll end up having to couple with regular guys from their hood or be single, because these opportunities do not exist for every girl. You either have to be very educated or very pretty to be able to, or have a great personality to level up. Just keeping it real, guys from higher status, they demand more from their spouse, from their partners. Hey, they'll sleep with anything. Now, all rich men, wealthy men, or upper middle class or middle class men will sleep with anything. They'll go into the lowest class neighborhood and they'll pick up a girl from there and they'll hook up with her, no problem. But they're not looking to wife her. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? They are not looking to marry her. They're looking to lay her, and that's it. So, the opportunity for hypergamy is not necessarily available to the regular girl who doesn't have the education, who's not drop dead gorgeous, and who's killer personality. So, if you are from any kind of community, I would say, and you hope to level up, you need to either look at yourself and know that you're gorgeous and you can level up, or try to get in better shape, whatever that means to you, or educate yourself, or work on your personality, your charm, your attraction, your attractiveness. That has nothing to do with your looks. Or you could also, dress up, make up, all those things too to look more attractive to men. But I'm gonna tell you now, regular girl who's not educated, who has no conversation, who's not interesting at all, will not have an easy time leveling up with relationships or being hypergamous, because those men are looking for something. A rich man is looking for an arm candy, something that looks good on his arm, beautiful, that other men will envy and want. Or they're looking for a woman who is a super educated woman who can help build with them. Or even if she's not building with them, she's just educated, can have a conversation. She is just, she knows her stuff. Or she's from a family that's of the same class as he is from. So if he's going after, if he meets a woman who's wealthy and she's not beautiful, and she has, usually, if they're wealthy, they have some education. So he'll date a woman on the same class level as he is on. Or a woman who he finds just fascinating, just so intelligent, she's confident, she is so sure of herself, even though she's not a I don't know, Taylor Swift or Beyonce, but she's so sure of herself, she is confident. He'll date one of those. So if you fall into any of those categories, you have a chance. But if you fall outside those categories, you need to work on getting into those categories. Next. So I just wanted to share that with you because I have seen it all. I have seen men, so many wealthy men who will, like I mentioned, they will have categories that their women fall into. They'll have the girl who is just good enough for sex. They'll have that arm candy who they will marry, or that smart girl who they will marry. But they're not going to go marry the girl who is of lower class and she has nothing bringing to the table at all. Something bringing to the table could be looks, confidence, money of her own, intelligence. Those are all things that you bring to a relationship. If you have none of that going for you, then you have some work to do on yourself, before you can hope to be hypergamous. You have to work on you first before you can attract. Okay, well, I hope this wasn't depressing for anyone, but I just wanted to be real based on everything that I've seen, because as I mentioned before, I have spent time with the lowest of the lowest, the wealthiest of the wealthiest, and I see how they select and what they do. I've even seen wealthy guys who will date women from lower class, but they will not marry her. Ever. They will date her, sleep with her. They might even buy her a few things, take her out to nice places. Depends on how she presents. If she's a hood rat chick and they can't be seen around her in public, they won't be seen. So this is why I'm saying, ladies, depending on who you are, you need to become the type of woman that a man from a higher class will want. Examples of women that men who are wealthy want. They want the Michelle Obamas. See, she falls into the intelligent category, and she's beautiful too. But I'm just saying, a majority of people would say Michelle Obama, first of all, is intelligent and probably very interesting as well. There is the Kate Middleton, who is probably very educated since she went to private schools. And she's beautiful and she's charming and she's conservative in dress and in appearance. So they like that type also. We look at the Meghan Markle. She is gorgeous and she is also very intelligent and strategic and probably damn interesting as well. She was able to move up in class. You have the Beyonce's, who's drop dead gorgeous and hardworking and has her own money. And she's able to marry Jay-Z, who's I would say he has more money than she does. I don't know where you would put them for class, but there you go. You have the Cardi B's, who's, you'll look at Cardi and say she's from the hood, she's ghetto, but look at her. She brings things to the table. She's extremely intelligent. Regardless of what any of you think, she's very strategic and intelligent. She was able to take the cards she was dealt and use them to her advantage. So she brings a lot to the table for a man and is able to date up because of it. She's able to bring her intelligence. She's super interesting. She's good looking, to most. And she brings something to the table other than hood rat. She brings more to the table than that. So those are just some examples of women who are able to level up from all different walks of life. So hopefully you get it, that you need to bring something to the table with you to be able to do this. You either need to be a super pretty girl who's just damn gorgeous and that's what you bring to the table, and believe it or not, beauty is a currency and that's all you need sometimes to bring to the table to level all the way up, to date all the way up. Or you bring your intelligence and you can go all the way up as well. You bring your interesting, confident personality with a plan behind it and you can date up. So go work on you.